How's it going, guys? Hopefully you're all happy and healthy. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a short recap of this past week, what I did with the food journal, and the things that were tracked and the things that were not tracked, and then what the next step of Project 10 will be for me personally, and essentially what I would do for a client if we were layering the approach to nutritional guidance. Since I do not have a nutritional certification, I cannot legally write nutrition plans. However, I can help the average individual put together a meal plan based on my opinion and my suggestions. So, recap of this past week. So, the food journal is the first thing that I recommend anybody try, because if you don't know exactly what you're eating, you're just guessing. So, for myself, I was very lenient, and if you were following my story, you saw that I circled one of the days where I had eaten a bag of Reese chocolate, so the reason I emphasized that was purely because you're gonna have ups and downs in your diet. You're gonna have moments of weakness, and you're gonna lapse here and there, but that shouldn't necessarily derail you entirely and make you think that this is not attainable. You can make mistakes, you will make mistakes, but you should embrace those mistakes and understand how you can move forward from there. So, the things that I tracked essentially were the smaller meals that I had. So, I eat a lot of fruit, so I usually don't track exactly how many grams of fruit. If I'm having, say, any carbs, so I like to eat a lot of rice and potatoes. So for this first week, I kept it around 150 grams. And then for any protein that I would have, whether it was pulled chicken or some pork or fish, I would try and aim for around 4 to 5 ounces. Okay, so that's essentially my baseline. For my next week, personally, I'm going to change those numbers. So the carbs will probably bring down to 100 grams, and the protein I'll probably aim for 4.5 ounces, maybe even just 4 ounces, see how things react, see how my energy levels are, see how I'm feeling ultimately. And how this would play into a client is we would essentially take this next step. We would look at what you had eaten the previous week, and then we would make slight changes, small tweaks. Overhauling everything all at once, all that ever does for a large majority of people, myself included, is just discourages you. And if you're not used to eating a lot less, then it can be very, very difficult, and you'll feel very uncomfortable. So that essentially would be step 2. So in this next week, I'm going to track my calories a little bit more specifically to show how I'm doing it. And then what I'll do is I'll do a similar recap video like this for myself, and what I would do for, say, if you were working with me as a client, just to give you kind of a inside view essentially of what I would do and what to expect. And of course, like much coaching, nothing is perfectly linear. There's lots of incredibly great resources on social media, as well as other people that know far more than I do. So again, just take this with a grain of salt. This is me basically cataloging it for myself, but also for you and hopefully potential future clients. But until next time, we'll talk to you soon. I'll recap with you guys at the end of next week. Just keep an eye out for some of my workouts and whatnot. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. That's what social media should be about. You don't always necessarily have to put a price tag on everything. I know that kind of contradicts essentially what I'm asking in the sense of like trying to gather clients, but at the same time, we're here to share information. That is what I'm here to do ultimately. So, and if I can gather some clients in the meantime as well too, great. But it's not the absolute end game for me. So, but yeah, anyways, till next time, we'll talk to you soon, and all the best. See ya.